Audio Jungle.
Saint Anne father charged with murder of toddlers. The Saint Anne police have charged Elaine Saunders for the double murder which occurred in Swamp District, Monique Saint Anne, on Tuesday, August 28. The 22-year-old was charged on Monday in connection with the death of his son, Amir Saunders, and his 3-year-old brother. Both boys were reportedly stabbed to death about 8 p.m. on Tuesday at their home in the community. PNP complains of political intimidation in Rose Heights. Janice Allen, the People's National Party PNP candidate for St. James Central, says her campaign team is being blocked from entering the Rose Heights community in the constituency by the Jamaica Labour Party operatives who are seeking to intimidate and harass them. Allen, who is reported among the group being blocked, said the matter was reported to the police and they have been promised that they will be getting support from the police and the military to access the community. Senior Superintendent of Police Aaron Samuels, the commander for St. James, confirmed that the police had received a report from Allen and that a team will be sent to the area. Regarding the complaints about harassment and intimidation, he said the matter will be investigated and the appropriate actions taken if the complaints can be verified. In the meantime, Allen said she is prepared to stand up to whatever harassment and intimidations come her way because she has a legitimate right to carry out her lawful campaign activities in the community. While reporters were unsuccessful in its effort to reach Heron Clark, Allen's JLP opponent for the St. James Central seat, a source close to Clark described the complaint as mischievous and without merit. I will defeat him at the polls, Newby says following Azan's monkey comment. Jamaica Labour Party JLP candidate for Clarendon Northwestern, Warren Newby, has rejected what he says is People's National Party PNP candidate Richard Azan's condescension when he appeared to compare him with a monkey at a recent political rally. The term is used to reduce a black person to ridicule, remove their personhood, and give the impression that one is a coon, a clown, a person for the sake of amusement and not to be taken seriously, Newby told reporters. But that is the PNP for you in this dispensation, he added. Azan, who is seeking to secure his fourth general election win in his native constituency, seemed to compare Newby to a monkey at a recent political rally. You know, when you look upon one monkey, that is how him look, he said, to much applause. Comrades, all him do short is a tail because only monkey can behave that way. However, he told reporters that his comments referred to Newby's behavior when he said Azan had threatened to sue him and not to Newby himself. Although G2K, the young professional arm of the JLP, has demanded an apology from Azan, Newby said he is more focused on defeating Azan in the general election. I have no further regard for him. I seek no apology from him and will do my utmost best to defeat him in the polls, he noted. JCC urges government to consult stakeholders before committing to minimum wage increase. The Jamaica Chamber of Commerce (JCC) is urging the government to follow the established consultative process before committing to an increase of the minimum wage, an announcement it believes was rushed and could result in unemployment. Prime Minister and leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, Dr. Ancho Holness, pledged to raise the minimum wage to $32,000 over the next few years if the JLP is to return to power after Wednesday's election. The current minimum wage is $16,000. Dr. Holness said the wage will be increased gradually, jumping to $18,500 in the first budget. JCC President Philip Ramsey says while it is important that all Jamaicans earn a livable wage, the announcement was rushed. He said such an increase would affect businesses and jobs. Mr. Ramsey is urging the two political parties to ensure that they explain how any major commitment they make will be funded and implemented. He also pointed to the People's National Party's proposed $3.5 million income tax threshold.
I think that there is a process in which the government, along with private sector, academia, civil society, they all look at minimum wage before you just announce a minimum wage. Because essentially, the minimum wage really, it's not the government that's paying it; it's the business community that has to implement a minimum wage increase. So there's usually a consultative process, and for I think most people last night was unaware that they were going to announce a minimum wage 2 days before the election. It just seems rushed. It seems that it wasn't something that was consulted with the normal process, and so we just want them to urge before they start announcing all of these changes, because it's significant to go from 16,000 to 32,000, even if it's over a 5-year period, is a significant change to the pay structure that is currently in Jamaica, and that there's businesses that have to be considered. I mean, if you think about an MSME who would have to implement that type of increase over that period, that's going to have effect on employment. That's going to have effect on the cost for businesses to conduct its salaries. So I think before we just go ahead and make these announcements, that we go through a process of consulting the different entities to ensure that we take into effect cost of living, take into effect cost of goods and services, because all of those naturally are going to either be increased or we're going to have to reduce the employment within each company respectively. So it felt that it came out of nowhere without any consultation, and I tell you, the business community is concerned about it. I think that's coming on the back of the tax reductions that they had been talking about originally, where, in their manifestos, they spoke about personal income tax, either the threshold being increased or the percentage being reduced to 15%. And there was no clear idea of how you're going to pay for that. And so now that I see where one side has come out with a minimum wage increase and no consideration as how that, or discussion on how that's going to be implemented, I don't want the parties to go back and forth over what they're going to be giving away without giving a detail as to how it's going to be paid for or how it's going to be implemented, because then it's being used as a political tool. And I don't think that is what we should be doing. I think we should be looking at how do we, work within the restrictions that we have in our economy and ensure that we're doing what's in the best interest of Jamaica.
NIS pension arrears now paid Social Security Ministry. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security is advising National Insurance Scheme NIS pensioners who receive payments by direct deposit that all pension arrears have been disbursed to their bank accounts. It says pensioners will receive a one-off arrears payment. This is the difference between the increased pension rate and the old pension rate for the 5-month period covered April to August 2025. The ministry says the technical challenges that caused a delay in making payments have been resolved. It adds that pensioners will see payments of the new increased NIS pension rate in September 2025. For further information, pensioners may contact the ministry's Customer Contact Center at 876-922-8000 to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.